and something that you don't really have to learn how to make, if that makes any sense. Hey guys, in this video I'm going to just give you a quick rundown of the tips you need to do to pick your NEA computer science project. There are a few tips that I'm going to give you that are going to give you the best chance of performing well in your NEA and finding it easy to do. Because doing it well and finding it easy to do are quite different things, but obviously if you can blend the two together, that's going to be the best combination. Number one, picking a programming language you're familiar with. Now, there are restrictions kind of on what kind of programming languages you want to use, but basically the most common languages that are out there are ones you can use. I'll give you some examples. You can use Python, C, C#, JavaScript, HTML, whatever basically. Yes, HTML is not a programming language, but that's just an example. As long as you mix it with other stuff. Basically you have to use a programming language. That's it. You can't use something like Scratch, for example, because Scratch is not really coding based, if you know what I mean. Pick a programming language you're familiar with, and this is so that when you're trying to implement something complicated or trying to implement something you've never heard of, you're at least familiar with the syntax, you're at least familiar with how to implement it in some kind of way. You may even know a way to go around it, etc., etc. And this just removes a learning curve for you when you're making this project, which is pretty much what you want to avoid anyway. Number two, this is more of picking the project itself. You want to be picking something that is going to be very intuitive to you, something you know very well, and something that you don't really have to learn how to make, if that makes any sense. So for example, with mine, my game was Pong, which pretty much everyone knows, and I just added extra levels of complexity to that, such as levels, the computer you're playing against, background effects, etc., etc. Those are the kind of things that made my project easy to do because I already know what I wanted to do and I already understood the game that I was doing it to. So for example, if I picked a game like, I don't know, Battleships, I wouldn't really know how to do that because I don't know the rules, I don't know the other stuff with it, I'm not super familiar with it. So pick something you're familiar with. Number three, make sure that you do this at the right time, because at least for my school, we were told to put most of our effort into completing our NEA in the first year. Now obviously you don't really have to do that, you can spread it out however you want, but I would recommend learning in the first year, learning what you need to do behind it and doing it pretty much all of it in the first year, because you're going to need to spend a lot of time on your other stuff. Like learning pseudocode is not going to be easy, learning the different algorithms and searches and learning components of the CPU and all that kind of stuff is not going to be easy. And for how much of a percentage the NEA is, which is just 20%, it's not going to be worth it trying to do all that in 2 years when you've got the other 80% of the stuff left. You could literally not do your NEA, do extremely well in your exam and still get an A or an A star. So obviously that's not what you want to do, but that just puts into perspective how little the NEA actually contributes overall to your A level. So just manage your time wisely. So yeah, that was this video on how to pick your NEA project. If you liked it, leave a like, subscribe, and share this video to whoever wants it. Link to the Instagram down below. Until next time, bye.